In today's episode, I'll be giving my review, reaction, and recap to the 6th episode in Season 2 of House of the Dragon, titled Small Folk. So let's jump right into Small Folk. Do something, man! People are questioning you! Shut up. Shut up. Okay, yep, do that. Sure, guys. Stupid and dumb. Just an idiot. Get your shit together, son. Fuck it. I loved it. Welcome to the dub cast. Coming off of last week, what happened? I don't even remember what happened last week. A lot of world building here, a lot of lead up, I think, including in this episode. I would like to see a little more action, but I'm happy with the political / whatever angling from everyone. Some things did happen in this episode. So last week we were introduced to the idea of possibly there being more dragon riders, which is followed up in this week. We were introduced to Daemon's demons. Well, we've been introduced to those for a while. But yeah, so this episode, another slower one, not a lot of action, but still a decent episode regardless. So let's jump right into it. So we start off with the other Lannister brother not marching until Aemond joins them on Vhagar, and you had to have seen this coming if you were Team Green, especially when you're the first real battle of the war at Rook's Rest. You're already bringing in Vhagar, and Aegon goes in on Sunfire. This war has gone to the dragons. Not sure if they've said that line yet specifically, but I know that's a big line that they've been using in the promos. Yeah, if you're a soldier, what's the point in like charging at shit when, especially in Team Green, when the other team has like 15 dragons that they can just use at their disposal and come and get you? I ain't going out there and getting burned by no dragon, so I thought this was a reasonable request. Aemond wasn't too fond of it though. So, yeah, he's upset. He doesn't want to because he's now king, Prince Regent, king, Aemond. So I did notice the Lannisters, well, I'm pretty sure everyone noticed, but they have a live lion. I'm not sure how that is going to help you. Is this like a Walking Dead, like Ezekiel situation where the lion just like kills only the bad guys and doesn't kill the good guys? Like, how does the lion know who's good and who's bad? So I'm not really sure what the plan with the lion is. I guess we'll have to see in the future episodes what the deal with that is. I know the Lannisters, their animal's a lion, so maybe they're just bringing it along as a mascot. The lion seemed pretty tame though, it wasn't attacking, so maybe it's just like a pet. I don't know, something to note moving forward. So back to the small council of Team Green. Aemond wants the Triarchy to help them with the blockade. They've made contact, or they tried to make contact with the Greyjoys, another famous Game of Thrones family, and it's awesome seeing these Game of Thrones families coming back into the fold. The Tullys, the Greyjoys, all involved here. Obviously, the Greyjoys are a historic naval unit / family, but they've been snowed out by them. They haven't heard anything from the Greyjoys. Obviously, this blockade is just really cramping down on Team Black and Aemond, and we see the major effects of it this episode. So, honestly, I don't know. I made a claim that Team Black was like needing help, and they were on their like last swim or whatever, and they needed to do something. This blockade they've got going and the plan they've had this episode, good shit, man. They also have the dragons, so just need that manpower, which they have the Stark army. They have, hopefully Daemon figures out the shit at Harrenhal. It's taken him like 3 episodes, at least 4 episodes, 5 episodes, and he's just been having demons in the fucking castle, so maybe he'll actually figure something out. Hopefully. Anyways, so at the small council meeting, Alicent opposes some of Aemond's ideas about what direction they should head in the war. Aemond is more aggressive and more wanting results fast and wanting to do things his way and not really listening to everyone. Alicent seems to be the only one really opposing his opinions, offering alternative options, and that results in Aemond kicking Alicent off the council. And I was a little shocked here. Alicent, obviously a very important piece of this small council and Team Green, even from back in Viserys' time, helped Aegon. Aemond doesn't want his help though. I'm sure if Aegon is able to somehow be back in some capacity, she'll be back. And yeah, I don't know. I thought this was a weird decision. I get it. Eamon's circling his power, making sure that everyone who's below him knows they're below him. Allison provides an opposing opinion. She's out, and she's gonna be like, "Hey, what's up with you? Like, having your childhood, like, basically incidents not healed you yet. Like, you're really whatever." And I appreciate that from Allison. Allison has a strong episode this episode, with her trying to help Eamon as much as she can, but sometimes when you have a kid and they're just not good, there's nothing really you can do to help fix it. You gotta just hope for the best, and I think that's at the point Allison's at now, where she has to hope that Aegon's able to come back and take over again, because Aemond is becoming a little bit of tyrannical, to say the least. So, cut to Daemon's adventures in Harrenhal. Back to the demons. This time he sees Viserys. It's a recreation of when he renounced him as heir and made Rhaenyra the heir. Really impactful scene, just because we get to see Viserys again, and Paddy, whatever his name is, I think that's the guy who plays him. Awesome actor and awesome character, Viserys. So it was good to see him back on screen, but I'm getting a little sick of this Daemon story arc, if I'm being honest. And so is Lord Strong, because after he snaps out of this vision, Daemon just tweaks on him and is like being super rude and basically like blaming him for his dreams he's been having. He thinks that he's been poisoned somehow, which I'm not ruling out, but I'll talk about it a little bit later. I do have a theory. I don't know, though. I don't think this is a good look, especially they've been so nice to you and welcoming as much as they can. You're trying to take over this land, provide an army for your team, Black. I think tweaking out on him was not good, and yeah, I don't think it's a good look. And as we see in the preview for next week's episode, they might be getting a little wary of him. So I'm not sure about Daemon, bro. Yeah, my favorite character from season 1. This season so far has been very lackluster from him. I think we got the message of him having demons like 50 times, so I'm good with it. I'm ready to move on. Hopefully next episode he's actually doing some shit. But not before we leave. He has a conversation with Alice, the kind of healer there, and I think she's a Red Witch. I think she's got some shit going on. She tells him in 3 days' time the winds will shift, and tells him to wait. He's gonna leave and go do something, but she's like, "Hey, you need to stay and just wait. Something's gonna happen for you," which we find out later on that it does. So we'll see what that means. I think it's a good thing for Team Black and Daemon, because she wants him to stay. I think she's Team Black. I don't know. I think she wants Daemon to succeed. My guess is they end up banging at some point and figure out that she's behind all this shit and she has some sort of dark magic. That's my theory. So, yeah, basically from last week, after Jacaerys mentions the idea of using other people in their family to do dragon riders, they pull out the soldier or knight to be the one to ride Sea Snake, and this scene was awesome in the depths of Dragonstone with Rhaenyra. Jacaerys watching cautiously the guy and the Dragon Keepers up front, and the music they used here was really awesome. The chanting was awesome. Didn't know what this was actually going to end up as, but I could guess that this was not going to work too early on in the episode for it to work. But yeah, I thought for a second it was going to work. Sea Snake kind of pump fakes and is like, "Hey, I'll come up to you, but just to burn the fuck out of you and one of the Dragon Keepers." So that was a crazy scene. Sea Smoke taking no prisoners, man. We'll find out later that he has a little bit of a preference in the race of his riders. So something to keep in mind. But RIP to the Knight and the Dragon Keeper. Intense scene. Love that scene. So back to Alyn, Corlys. I finally figured out the dynamic here. I've been waffling on this all season, but so Alyn is the bastard son of Corlys. I think I said that last episode. And we also have Adam, who is the bastard son of Corlys, which this episode they have a weird confrontation, Alyn and Corlys, where Corlys trying to get him to come with him to be on the ship and be like his first mate and give him this like prestigious position, but Alyn's like, "Nah, I don't want to do that. Come on, bro, it's your dad. Let's go get him. Like, come on." And Adam is the other bastard son who is upset that Corlys treats Alyn like his son, but he doesn't treat Adam with anything. He doesn't even talk to him. which after this episode, I'm sure I'll be talking to him. But I don't know. I thought this conversation between Alin and Corlys was weird, and I don't know. I guess we'll have to just wait and find out what happens with them. Back to Team Black and the Council. As mentioned before, Corlys taking on the role of Hand. This babbling idiot guy on Rhaenyra's small council, just one of everyone basically besides Corlys and her son. Even her son's a little babbling idiot sometimes. Is just babbling on to her about how it was a bad idea to bring the guy into the fire and dragon, whatever. He's a well-regarded knight, and she finally just says, you know what, fuck it, and slaps him. Good. Finally, Rhaenyra taking some fucking action against these people, just to sit around and have these people question you all day, and they don't follow anything you say when they say you are their queen. I think Rhaenyra is starting to realize, hey, I got to do some things here. I got to take over what I know and what I am. I'm the queen of this shit. Fuck y'all. I'm taking over, and we're running this shit. No more of this droning on and questioning my leadership. Someone questioned Aemon, they got kicked out of the fucking small council in comparison. So Rhaenyra, good job stepping up, man. Strong Rhaenyra episode, but we'll get into it a little bit later. But started off with slapping this guy. Good job. So we finally understand the plan from White Worm and Rhaenyra. Mysaria, I don't know what should I call her, whatever. But it was kind of a question because she sent that girl out last week to do something, but we didn't really know what it was. Turns out they're going to send them food, essentially. Well, that's later on, but it's to cause pandemonium amongst the common folk. They have someone sit in the bar and basically spew about how Aemon had a feast for his coronation as Regent King, and they're eating all these beautiful desserts and beautiful foods, and as Mysaria is this kind of queen of whispers and able to get these words out, our messages out, we see my boy, the guy I think is going to ride a dragon, be all pissed off in the bar. You see all the little common folk around them listening and taking it all in. So they're trying to create civil unrest, which is honestly a great strategy, and especially in a trapped King's Landing where Aemon won't let them leave, making them uprise, get upset with the soldiers and whatever. You gotta be secure at home, as I think Rhaenyra or White Worm says. It's true. You gotta have those people at home around you. Good. You gotta make sure you have a good base. But Aemon's in peril now because fuck, man. But we'll get into that a little bit. But I understand the plan. Let's get it. I really like this plan from Rhaenyra and Mysaria. Awesome stuff, guys. Good cooking. We need more of that for Team Black victory in the future. So back to Team Green. Larry's. This was a terrible play from Larry's, man. Way too up front. Wants to become hand with Aemond. It was a decent play with Aegon, who's less intelligent and less privy to this kind of thing, but Aemond sees right through him. He's like, I should be hand. Essentially, he says that in a roundabout way, and Aemond's like, no, I don't think you should be, because you go against your own family and your own house, which we saw him burn his brother and dad. So yeah, maybe this guy isn't the best, but I like Larry's strategical thinking. He gives me Littlefinger vibes. We'll see later on where he moves to after this episode. During this episode, he moves to a different narrative and different plan. But yeah, with Aemon, this wasn't the play, but it does make Aemon realize that he does need a king's hand. So he sends for Otto, and I'm here for it. I love Otto. I've come around on Otto. I think he's a really good political guy, really good Game of Thrones guy, playing the game well. So he's supposed to be back in the fold soon. After this, Aemon's going to go see his brother, Aegon, and they have another really weird interaction where it's been made known to the viewers that Aegon is basically awake every 2 hours, or every 3 hours he's awake for one of them, and sometimes he can talk a little bit. So Aemon's going to pay him a visit with a ball, and he presses it right on his chest, asking him what he remembered. I don't know if I believe Aegon that he doesn't remember anything. He's probably just really scared of his brother, which rightfully so. His brother just tried to burn him alive, along with Rhaenys and her dragon. So yeah, I would do the same thing. You call out, lie, and be like, "Oh, I don't remember what happened, bro. I was just, I don't remember." But Aemon's pressing and pressing, and then the maestro comes in, maester comes in, and kind of breaks up the tension unknowingly, but fucking weird interaction. Aemon's really trying to kill Aegon, which I feel like he has way easier opportunities than maybe when like a million people are carrying after him and whatever. Maybe he's just applying a little pressure, saying, you know, you don't remember anything, bro. Like, we don't want to do this. I wonder where Kristen Cole falls into all this too, because he saw Aemon with the dagger. He saw him blow him up, and why haven't any of the soldiers mentioned this? You saw a dragon fly and blow up 2 dragons in the sky. Like, was nobody looking up? Come on, guys. Tell a secret here. Let's go. Get Aemon out of power, bro. He's annoying and fucking so back, we're actually moving out of the country now to Rhaena and the boys in this kind of middle land between Pentos and Westeros. Well, I don't know if whatever. I need to look at the geographical map, but she's trying to get to Pentos. She's in the middle of the land, headed out there. And it turns out the lady lied to her last episode, trying to get a dragon from them. They already have a dragon out there. It's a wild dragon. It's huge. I don't know anything about the books, as I've stated before, but I'll say it again. But my prediction is I think Rhaena is going to find this dragon and ride it back to victory, and it's going to be this like big moment of her showing up out of nowhere. But yeah, so there's a wild dragon out there that they don't know anything about. Doesn't seem like it has a rider, but I guess we'll find out. But my prediction, Rhaena ends up riding that dragon. She had trouble with a lot of dragons, so I think this wild one, there's potential for her. Just something to keep in mind. So yeah, once I realized, coming back to mainland, we have Alyn and Adam once again talking, shaving and just shooting the shit. Nice little scene here, but I didn't realize that Adam was also a bastard, so finally this clicked for me, or, well, them fucking saying obviously that they're bastards together. That really sealed in my mind they're bastards. No, but didn't know about Adam, so cool development here. I just think there's too many fucking characters, bro. This is like double Game of Thrones size, and we're not like. I was just saying to a friend, like, we know we have 4 seasons. That's it. So they have to fucking expedite this timeline so fast, and there's all these different moving parts. Like in Game of Thrones, it's like we're just gonna fucking go until we can't. Well, I wasn't watching that live, but that's what I'm assuming they did. Until they beat the book and then had to bullshit the end of that one. But at least with this one, they know they have a finite point. So I'm still a believer in the process. I've enjoyed the season, but it feels like there's a little too much going on. Just because everything's all spread out. I mean, I know it's, Game of Thrones, you got everyone all everywhere, but I don't know, I'm starting to lose track of people, especially in this one. I mean, in Game of Thrones, I was able to keep track a little bit because the storylines are a little more developed, so I don't know if I was supposed to know that Adam was the bastard, but now I do, so that was the whole soliloquy there. Anyways, so expanding on Rhaenyra and White Worm's plan, they send in food with the black and red flag for Team Black, and the common folk love it. They've been deprived. We see our family, common folk family that we've been following this time. The girl is sick and they can't find food, and the wife is waiting in line all day and doesn't get any food, along with a huge stack of people. So yeah, goings are rough, and then Rhaenyra sends in some fresh fruit, some fresh food, which causes pandemonium there because everyone's fighting each other, including well, actually, we don't see this part yet, so I'll just go in chronological order. So Cole and Gwaine are talking to Alicent, Cole doesn't talk to her, Alicent's talking to Gwaine. They talk about their dad. They never got any letter. Seems like Gwaine's a little disappointed that basically his dad chose Alicent to bring to court over him. But her kids are doing well, the ones that are in the High Tower land. So yeah, good update for Alicent with her brother. And then Cole and her are at odds because Cole also agreed to kick her off the small council. It's clear he chooses bros over hoes. He fucks with Aemon more than Alicent. So yeah, that's just an odd dynamic still, as they're kind of like FWBs, but I don't know, I feel like they haven't done it in a while. Maybe I'm just reading things wrong, but it felt like to me that something was going to happen with either Gwaine or Cole or both with Alicent. But I also said this probably two episodes ago when they had this like sort of goodbye in like the same area. So my prediction is Cole or Gwaine are goners after this departure, maybe both, but we'll see. So back to the common folk. Our boy went crazy. The guy in the family we've been following, the husband, I'm not sure if he has a name, but he ransacks some dude, takes the food from him. He needs that food for his sick daughter. Obviously, it's like the classic, would you steal for your sick daughter? Of course, he's gonna knock this bro out, take the carrots and shit and run. But just besides him, everyone is going crazy, the common folk. So Allison and Helena happen to be in the church while this is happening, and they're going to run out because they're being rushed out because pandemonium in the streets. Allison tells them not to sheathe their swords and not fight right after a guy grabs onto her and gets his arm clean cut off, which nice little graphic scene there for you graphic freaks out there who like that shit. Hand cut off, fuck. Anyways, so yeah, Allison and Helena are on the run. She tells them to sheathe their swords, which I don't know why you do that. You got power, Cersei it, just fucking power through and get out of there. But eventually they end up in the wagon, they escape, but a couple of the soldiers go down just by being sheerly overwhelmed by like 3 or 4 people. Just a crazy fucking scene, beautifully shot scene. We see the riot and then it slowly like zooms out on the whole King's Landing. So probably my favorite scene from this episode. Just really awesome with the riots, and I will say I do like them following along I do like us following along with this common folk family. I think maybe there's like one guy that I'm missing about being a dragon rider, and someone was talking to me about it, and I'm like, I know the guy in the tavern is going to be, that's my prediction, but there was someone else, and it might be this guy that we're following is also related to them somehow. I don't know, it could be him, it could be somebody else that I'm missing, but even if he's not, I like following along with this common folk family, seeing what it's like down on the streets of King's Landing. So really been appreciating this storyline as it develops and develops. So yeah, favorite scene of the episode right there. Coming back to the castle in Team Black, or Team Green area in King's Landing, we get an Aegon and Larry's conversation. So this is what I was mentioning earlier. Larry's is going to basically be like, hey, you got to protect yourself. And Aegon's like, can you help me against Aemond? And Larry's gives a little sinister look, like, I got you, bro. So we could see some movement against Aemond from Larry's. We saw that it wasn't that hard for him to get his brother to burn. So Larry's, we'll see what his power is in King's Landing as Master of Whispers and what he can do to possibly protect Aegon moving forward. My predictions, following through with my predictions, I think Cole is going to die, so when Aegon's back, he's going to need a new hand. And who's that? Larry's. And I predicted Larry's hand like in episode 2, but then he chose Cole over him, so I don't know. But I think Larry's will end up as hand of the king for Aegon if he is to return, because I think Cole will be dead. And also Larry's is a good choice because he schemes and knows shit, but maybe he might not be war ready, but we'll see. So that's my prediction there. So back to Harrenhal, and 3 days have passed, and guess what? Lord Grover is dead. So I think Alice is somehow involved in this shit, and her prophecy to Daemon did come true about something changing. Obviously, this Lord Grover was the guy who is kind of like Jimmy Carter. He wakes up and isn't actually awake. He just, I don't know, he like sleeps the whole day or something. He like was, I don't know. But he's dead now, so they can finally get the young guy in there and maybe start to make some actual change, because they would refuse to let them see the old guy, Lord Grover. So new Grover in charge. We'll see what goes on with this in next week episode preview. Not to spoil that, but it seems like there may be some action there. So this is interesting. Finally, some heating up of Harrenhal. It's fucking been a while since Daemon did something. Yeah. So our last couple scenes, one controversial, one just funny. I'll let you guys decide what I think is which. First, we have See Smoke riding into where Adam is and just particularly tracks him down. He knows he wants Adam to ride him, which is just a weird thing to happen, I think. Like, circumstantially, the dragon just chooses its rider. I guess maybe, I'm not good on the lore and shit. So you guys let me know if that's usual, but Sea Smoke's gonna basically go up to Adam and be like, hey, you're riding me, and that's what we're doing. And Adam doesn't show fear, which you're not supposed to show fear. So we hear later on through Rhaenyra's small council that somebody is riding Sea Smoke. So Adam is the new rider for Sea Smoke, and I'm here for it. Hopefully he's Team Black, but I think, in next week's episode, she's like, what do you want? You're riding one of the Targaryen dragons. He'll probably be like, I want my dad to acknowledge me, and then that's something easy you can do. So you have another rider, you have Sea Smoke. Please, Rhaenyra, get this man on your side. But yeah, so Adam is our new Sea Smoke rider, regardless, unless they kill him or some shit. And our last scene is Rhaenyra and the White Worm having a deep conversation. The White Worm really cares for Rhaenyra and really wants the best for her. And she tells Rhaenyra the story of how she got bruises. Well, not bruises, but a scar. The scar she has under her neck, and also apparently has one right above her private part. And yeah, just a brutal story. Sharing a lot. And Rhaenyra, you know what? Daemon's been gone for a while, so her and Mysaria are gonna kiss, and I'm here for it, man. I don't think this is a bad development. I think I read today. Luckily, recording this a day late, I now have some advanced knowledge. Rhaenyra is bisexual in the book. She has a relationship with Daemon's old wife at some point, so this is canon to the story. I'm here for it. You know, Mysaria actually cares about her, actually loves her, while Daemon's just fucking off in Harrenhal and left because he's mad about her being the heir to the throne and being considered everyone's queen. So you know what, Mysaria gives love and shows respect to her. So good relationship there. Also, if Daemon wants to come back to Dragonstone, he could potentially have a threesome. Anyways, Rhaenyra ending the episode, she's going to fly out to see Adam flying sea smoke after she gets word. She flies on her own dragon solo, risky, but she wanted to do something by herself and not be coddled by everyone. So this is her chance potentially to have a showdown with Adam or get him to join their side. So that'll have to wait for next week. And I already mentioned a lot of the stuff that happens in next week's preview. So as always, I'll give my favorite and least favorite character of the episode. Favorite characters going to Rhaenyra. The gifting, the food to the common people and their little plan in there was king shit, pimp level, 1000 IQ. I fuck with that heavy. Also, just not a lot of characters stuck out to me this episode. So Rhaenyra gets it for being by default basically awesome. Just a strong emotional episode for her. Obviously, I'm Team Black, so let's go with Rhaenyra for favorite. Least favorite, I'm gonna go with Aemon. Another tough episode to choose just for the least favorite, but Aemon, don't like him. Kicking Alicent off the council, I think that's a bad idea. He doesn't give a shit about the common folk. Always gotta care for your people, man. Viserys even knew that. Intimidating Aegon, that's your brother, bro. Don't try and kill him or some shit. Come on, bro. So Aemon, least favorite Rhaenyra. So that'll wrap up episode 6 of season 2 of House of the Dragon, titled Small Folk. Thanks to everyone for sticking around. We'll be covering the last 2 episodes coming up. Besides that, on the pod, I just dropped a video or / podcast with my sister Allie covering the NBA offseason, giving every team a grade. That was really fun. Nice little listen there, so go check that out if you haven't. And coming up, we'll have a UFC 304 preview and a Good Morning Vietnam preview. Finally filmed that and it's ready to go. So that's what you guys can expect later on in the week. Appreciate you as always. Be easy, and I'm ready for these last 2 episodes, man. What have you guys thought of the season so far? Peace.